Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're actually talking Spurs because not only did they have an A-plus draft, but they've also had a phenomenal offseason. And I want to talk about a couple of specific things. And I'll start it off with this because this is something we talk about on the show, or we've talked about last couple of days after the DeJounte trade that really sparked it. The Spurs know what they're doing. All right, they either had to put not necessarily all their eggs into the DeJounte Murray basket, but you either had to make a big-time move, big-time trade, big-time signing, whatever the case may be, i.e. DeAndre Ayton sign and trade, or you could do what they did, and there's a reason what they did is absolutely genius. I saw this tweet here from Dylan H. Carter. San Antonio is stacked with draft picks for the next 6 years. So next season, they have 2 firsts and a second. 2024, 1 first, 2 seconds. 2025, 3 firsts, 2 seconds. Next year, 1 first, 1 swap, 2 seconds. 2027, 2 firsts, 2 seconds. 2028, 1 first, 1 swap, 2 seconds. That's 23 picks in the next 6 years. And the next response, and I'm sorry if for some reason or somehow he watches this video, do half of these picks have the potential to be in the top 7? If they don't, then there isn't a silver lining. We don't need late round picks from teams going to playoffs. I can understand the logic in that. But here's the thing. The Spurs are not going to be good next year. I feel like that's a given. The draft they just had was phenomenal. Jeremy Sochan is the best defender in the draft. There is a reason Jeremy Sochan was projected mid-first round for a very long time. And then once they started doing the combines, once they started training and doing these workouts for teams, there's a reason he went as early as he did. There's a reason the Spurs took a gamble. If you hear a draft analyst saying they took a gamble on Jeremy Sochan, stop, exit the video, exit the article, stop reading, stop watching it, stop doing whatever you're doing, and go find somebody worth giving your attention to. So Jeremy Sochan, absolute G. Blake Wesley, Notre Dame dog, Notre Dame, one of my favorite colleges. I love their football team. Blake Wesley, there's a lot of hype, low-key hype. There's a lot of low-key hype. If you know, you know. There's a reason the cats at Notre Dame love Blake Wesley. So you have those two guys. Malachi Brown, absolute G. So you drafted 3 Gs, all right? 3 top Gs. Well, here's the thing. First off, they got a great package for DeJounte. I don't think I'm very curious about Spurs fans. I'm very curious what Spurs fans think about what's going on right now. If you're a Spurs fan, please drop a comment down below. That's why I make these videos. I want to hear from you guys. Here's the thing. You have Keldon Johnson. You have Primo. You have Vassell. You have Vassell. You have your young players. DeJounte is not the same age as those guys. Now, DeJounte isn't old, but he's mid-20s. Those guys are low 20s if they're in their 20s. None of the rookies, Branham, 19 years old. Primo, 19 years old. Sochan, 19 years old. Wesley, 19 years old. Vassell, 21 years old. Like, Keldon, 22. That's what I'm doing. Like I said, you either have to put all your eggs into the basket of, all right, let's start competing right now. Well, look at the West. It's pretty competitive. I don't personally think there's a top dog. I get the Warriors and the Suns are very good basketball teams. So I guess there are some top dogs. So you either had to assemble a roster that could compete with that, or do a complete, real quick. I don't even consider this a rebuild. I consider this a retool, and here's the reason. Not only are the San Antonio Spurs financially flexible, which is going to be the most important thing 1 year from now, I guarantee you this, guys. We haven't seen a free agency class like next year's in probably a decade. This is something we were talking about my live NBA show. I'll link it down below. It's in the bio, and I'll pin it in the comment section. Live every day, 9 to 5 or 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So check it out. But every time we talk Spurs, I get amped because they're not going to be good next year. Sorry, I don't think that's going to upset anybody. You shouldn't be good next year. You want to know why? Victor Wembanyama. Not only have we not seen a free agent class like this in a decade, but we don't even know the last time we saw a prospect as generational as Victor. I know Pop. I know the Spurs. I know they're licking their chops at the possibility of Victor. So could you imagine this? The Spurs worst record in the league, get the number 1 pick. Even if you don't get the number 1 pick, you have 23 picks in the next 6 years. You could trade up to the number 1 pick. Victor will 100% be the number 1 draft pick next season. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Victor W is going to be the undisputed number 1 pick next season because we haven't seen a player like him come into the league in at least a decade. I can't even think of a comparison for Victor. So not only are the Spurs going to have an unbelievable chance at drafting a generational prospect from France who is ginormous and very multifaceted, but you also have a bunch of money in a very powerful free agent class, and you also have some amazing draft picks to complement them. The Spurs right now, they're playing the long game, but I really don't think it's going to be that long. And I love DeJounte. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the entire NBA. It's how it is. But his timeline, paired with San Antonio's risk management, it wasn't the best fit. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you could probably find a way to get a cat like DeAndre Ayton. You could find a way in the next 1 or 2 years to try and get something going where you're, a play-in tournament team at the worst. San Antonio is going to do a 1-year retool. They're going to draft Victor, who's going to be a superstar. They're going to go get a star in free agency. And they're going to, at the very least, make the play-in tournament. And like I said, don't sleep on their rookies and don't sleep on their young cats. Keldon Johnson is extremely underrated as well. When I think of the San Antonio Spurs, I think of underrated players. Because I'm huge on Keldon. I'm huge on Sohan. I'm huge on Malachi. I'm huge on all of their young cats. Even Devin, bro. You ask some casual about Devin. He's going to say, Devin who? Devin Vassell who? I like what they're doing. Don't even get me started on Pirtle. I like Pirtle. I don't know if he's actually going to... I don't know if they're going to keep Pirtle for that long, to be honest with you. Because if you traded DeJounte, I wouldn't be surprised if Pirtle's gone. Like I said, I don't know what the media is saying about the Spurs offseason. I don't know what Spurs fans are saying about their offseason so far. But from an unbiased perspective, from somebody who lives in Chicago in their mom's basement, I really, really like what the San Antonio Spurs have got going on. Because I think with the CBA going into effect, and when we saw it in 2016, you saw guys like Timothy Mozgov get 4 years, 60. You saw guys like Amon Shumpert get 4 years, 80. Matthew Dellavedova, 4 years, 80. You saw the most ridiculous contracts ever. Ever. So what do you want? You want to be financially flexible. You want to be financially flexible. You want to be versatile. You want to be flexible in general, especially financially. So San Antonio, I give them at most 5 years till you're like, oh my God, the Spurs are a fun basketball team. I give them at most 5 years. They know what they're doing. They got a plan. And even if you don't land Vic, even if you don't land, a superstar next year free agency, like I said, you're still versatile. You're still looking good. You still have all these draft assets, 23 picks in the next 6 years. I'll take that. It's a good time to be a Spurs fan. But judging from what I'm seeing right here, the tweet from Dylan and then the bottom reply, he doesn't seem too happy, but I know he doesn't speak for all Spur Nation. So that's it for today, man. Hit the like button, hit that sub button for daily NBA videos. And if you want more Spurs vids, definitely go ahead and show some love in the comment section. If I messed anything up or if you just want to add to it, please go ahead and drop it down below. That's why I make these videos. So let me know what you guys think about this Spurs offseason in the comment section. I will catch you cats later.